There we go. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Well,
Awesome. Awesome. Well, good evening. Hopefully everyone had a great Christmas, great holiday. We're going to be ready to get started talking about the power of networking and building your network and what that looks like as a real estate investor, especially with building your team. Like one of the big things with real estate investing, especially when you're a full-time employee working your job and you're working this kind of, for me it started as a side hustle, because I didn't have the systems in place. I was doing everything on my own, and so with that came a lot of extra stress, but extra work on the front end that I had to account for. And so one of the cool things with it is understanding how you can build your network up front really helps you in the long run. It gives you that sustainability in order to be in the game for a sustained amount of time, looking more long term when you're not getting burned out, when you have the right strategy laid out for yourself, when you're not doing something that's orthogonal to what you're trying to do and for your overall mission, what you're trying to build. But you're in perfect alignment. You have your roadmap, you have your strategy, and now you're bringing in those key experts that can help you build wealth. And so that's what it's all about with building your network. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the different things, the ways to get there, the masterminds, the mentoring, the network. I'm going to share my personal experience on how these different things have aligned in my investing journey in order to help me get to where I am and really to accelerate my journey after I stopped trying to bootstrap and do everything myself and change my mindset and my approach. And then we're going to talk a little bit about who, not how. And so one of the things with that is really focusing in on your team. We're going to really focus in on the mastermind group and the networking piece. One of the other aspects of your network is really talking about your attorneys, your contractors, your property managers. Those relationships as well are key when you start talking about building out your network and bringing them in. And so that's another level of it that we could talk about at a later date. But for those who I haven't met, Johnny Lynum here, husband, father, lieutenant colonel, passionate about real estate investor, looking forward to becoming a full-time real estate investor um, after my ensuing retirement from the Air Force. Wrote a book a few years ago, created REI Genius, where our mission is changing lives through real estate. And I'm extremely passionate about sharing my journey and then helping others build wealth because I didn't come from a well-off family with a trust fund or anything like that. But I am because I am that seed where a trust fund is going to come from me for my next generation. And so I'm all about becoming the best CEO of my last name and helping others do the same thing. And so that's why we are here tonight talking about uh, building our networks. And so the thing is, like the Bible talks about this, there's nothing new under the sun. And the same thing when it comes to investing. Like you don't have to go out here and reinvent the wheel. If you want to be successful, find someone who has achieved the results you want and copy what they do. Tony Robbins, great mindset, great approach. And the thing is, like when we talk about real estate investing, there have been plenty of real estate investors that have been successful before us. Like the same process that they follow, you can follow. How do we get that information? We get that information from books, podcasts, coming to seminars like this that we're talking about tonight, being in rooms with other successful entrepreneurs that's doing the same thing or similar investing strategies that you're looking to do. But the thing is, you have to get in the right room, get the right information, take action, and then repeat it. We talked about that millionaire success formula I shared with you on week one that really gave you the process for success in anything in life. But in particular with investing, that one, you got to get the information, you got to take action on it, and then you got to show up and consistently do the same thing over and over and over again. And that is how you build wealth. And the thing with it is like collaboration, because at the end of the day, there's so many different aspects of it. And this is one that it took me a long time to end up learning because I was one where I wanted to be great at everything. And we already know when you start looking at team sports, because real estate investing is the ultimate team sport, I would argue, just because there's so many different um, skill sets and individuals and functional areas that are involved in one deal being successful. But the same thing with sports. When you look at, a basketball, you got a point guard, you got a shooting guard, you got a small forward, you got a power forward, you got a center. And then when you look at football, you got your quarterback, your running back, you got your skill positions, you got your wide receivers out there, your tight ends, you got your offensive linemen, you got your center. And so the thing is, like, everyone has different positions. And in order for you to be successful, in order for you to be at a championship caliber, guess what? Everybody has to be great at their assignment. You can't have the wide receiver trying to play quarterback. You can't have the quarterback trying to play running back. You can't have the point guard in the paint trying to post someone up thinking they're a center. Like, everyone has to know their role and play their role. And the thing is, like, you can be good to a certain extent, but a lot of times you're never going to be great. Like, you can know a little bit about being an attorney, but you're never going to be a great attorney if you haven't went to law school. If you're not doing hundreds of transactions each year, then you're not going to be good at it. Just the same thing. It's like, well, if you're not doing multifamily deals, then you're just focused on single family, then you're never going to really get good at multifamily until you start at it. But when you start off, maybe you need to find someone that's good at multifamily that can show you the ropes where you don't make a lot of the common mistakes up front. And so that's the thing that you have to realize is that if you're in it for the long haul, you're trying to build a thriving business. When you start talking about doing 2 or 3 projects a year, with whether it's single family, you want to do an apartment complex every 2 years, that you go through this. And I talked about it up front. Like, most of us, we're trying to do this while we have a full-time job. And so time is at a premium. And so the thing is, you have to manage the investing with being active, hands-on up front, but you got to balance that with the work from your normal job. And then also those family commitments are right there too. And so it's a constant balancing that you have to do to achieve this. And at the same time, you got, with the real estate, you have the operations, you got to find the marketing for deals, networking with brokers, you got to have the finance that you're putting in place with everything. And there's only so many hours in the day. And this was one that it took me a long time, before I hired my first virtual assistant to get there, back in the 2018 timeframe. But it took me being able to try to cold call from Kuwait with crappy internet service and, phone dropping out and everything. And then I ran across somebody on YouTube that was talking about virtual assistant, and it changed my life. And then that allowed me to kind of think outside of me having to be an expert at everything, and really just being able to focus on certain aspects of the business to build that collaboration, that team. And so that's the thing, that at the end of the day, you need to just really have that one piece of the puzzle. And for me, it's to be at the CEO mindset level of everything that I'm doing. Whereas that I can orchestrate and have really good contractors, really good attorney, really good title company, really good broker that's finding deals, really good property management company that's managing the deals. And now I just sit back and kind of orchestrate. But the thing is, you have to know a little bit about each one of the things. You don't have to go complete depth as the level the contractor needs to know that's doing the renovations, but you need to know enough at a high level in order to be successful. And that's what our job as an investor is, to have the information and be informed enough where we can make sound decisions about our portfolio and moving out on these deals and executing the day-to-day operation. And so John Maxwell says, be intentional to add value to every person you meet every day, because you never know who it is that you're talking to. I was just having a conversation with my dentist, and he was asking me, like, hey man, how's the real estate stuff going? Because my son had to go in and had a root canal done a couple months ago. And we started talking about real estate. And he was really anxious. And I asked him, like, hey, I know you talked about underwriting deals. Have you done anything? I'm like, man, he's like, we just had our child 2 months ago. My wife kind of took a step back from the office because she was helping with the dental practice and managing the office. So he's like, I'm doing more here, and then I'm going home and I'm not getting enough sleep. And so the thing is just really having those conversations and being able to add value and just talk through. And so one of the big things for him was like, hey, like, it sounds like you don't have a lot of time. You're passionate about trying to get your first real estate deal, your first multifamily deal. And it's like, hey, maybe you need to think about being a passive investor, because it's like you need the tax write-offs, and you need to invest in real estate, and your time commitment, you're not finding any more time. And so the thing is like you have to have an honest assessment of where you are and what you're trying to do. What are your strengths? And then now align your network around your weaknesses to build that super team. Because as we already talked about it, time is waiting for none of us, and none of us have as much time as we want to. Because if you think about it, I'm 42 years old. Was it the average male lives to be 75 years old? So 75 minus 42, what is that? 33 years. So if you say, hey, okay, I got 33 years left. Lord willing, I pray I live longer than that. But if I'm just the statistic, 75, so 33 years, and you have 24 hours in a day times 365. Yeah, 24 hours in a day times 365. That's 8,760 hours each and every day. I mean, eat for a year times 33 years. That's 289,000 hours left on Earth. And so if you sleep 8 hours a day, so we're going to multiply that times 0.66. So we're going to sleep 8 hours a day. So boom, now I only got 190,792 hours left. And if I'm going to work the rest of those 33 years, then take another third off, and that only leaves me with 8 hours. So now take that, and we're going to say we're going to cut that by a third. And now you're left with somewhere around 92,000 hours left on Earth. And so the thing is, like, when you start thinking about the time that you actually have, when you put in sleep, work, and everything, like, we don't have a whole lot of time left. And so one of the things that we're talking about with the network, it allows you to accelerate your success. And now you can live off the benefits of it. And so 82% of all real estate transactions come from referrals. People, your network, being able to have conversations, letting people know you're a real estate investor, letting them know what type of deals that you want to buy. What is your what defines your buy box? Someone asked me, is like, hey, I'm looking for apartment complexes, 40 units and below, B and C class properties with below market rents of at least $150. And not in a war zone. If you find anything with that fits that category, I'm your guy. And I tell people that. And so 42% of sellers find their agents through referrals. And so a lot of referrals, I'm talking to more and more brokers. A lot of brokers have gotten out of the real estate game. They're not selling as well. A lot of them have gotten second jobs. And so the thing is now, like, if you can get in with brokers that are actually still in the game, that haven't walked away, then now's the time, build those relationships, because they're serious about it, and they're out there making the phone calls just like we are with direct to mail marketing and going direct to seller. They're going out there doing the same thing, having the same conversations. And so going through that allows you now to have them in your network where you're seeing deals. I had a deal today come to me from an agent in Tuscaloosa, which it was a 10 unit that already had been renovated. So it didn't necessarily work for me, but I was glad that he actually brought it to me off market before it hit, and thought enough to, we met online on LinkedIn, and he was like, hey, I hadn't forgot about you. I had this. Let me know if there's something you're interested in. I was like, hey, let me know if it's a value add. That's where I need to be. But those are the kind of conversations that you want to have, where now you got multiple people out there. When they're in their broker meetings, they're thinking about you. When their broker says, hey, we got this 16 unit, the seller wants to sell it, they're like, oh, I got somebody. I want to get it to him today and get it out there. And that's what you want to happen when those deals come up. 88% of buyers and 82% of sellers will reuse or recommend their agent. And so the thing is, like, a lot of people, and I was there a couple of years ago, where I didn't see the value with using agents, with using brokers to sell. I have an agent that works as my acquisition manager in Panama City. And so the thing is, like, great agents are worth their weight in gold, because they make your life that much more better. And at the same time, they can bring you deals. If they're great, they're out there having conversation with sellers, I'll gladly pay a real estate agent or a broker to bring me a deal where I'm gonna make 200,000-300,000, or have the potential to have $5,000-6,000 of cash flow from a single deal. Like, why wouldn't I pay that person $15,000-20,000 for that transaction easily? Because they're adding value. They're bringing that deal that you would have never saw before. And so the thing is that they say with the network is your network is 100% true across so many facets of real estate, whether it's on the capital raising side, getting referrals for contractors getting referrals for property management companies, for partners with other investors that you meet, that you team up on deals with. That 100%, like I would not be nowhere near where I'm at right now without my network, because I wouldn't have had the opportunities. I would not have seen the deals that we were able to take down. I would not have been able to execute the deals. And so at the same time, it's like you got to be willing to get out here, get outside your comfort zone, and find these people out here that you can align your business with and take it to the next level. And that's what we're going to talk about. Masterminds. All of the social media in the world is only going to go so far. Like it's cool to kind of just sit there and DM and send people messages and talk about what you're doing, but to actually have a no kid real life conversation, especially being able to sit face to face, have a cup of coffee, have a conversation in person with someone, that is nothing that can beat that connection. And so that's the thing that I really love about mastermind groups. And even though I've started finding my first mastermind group was, unfortunately, I found it like 3 months before COVID kicked off. And so thankfully it was virtual anyway, just because it was, veteran real estate members across the US. And so we got together on Zoom anyway. But the thing was, like, now it's opportunities to get back out there and find the right groups where you can meet in person and put events together in person. We're looking to do a commercial real estate conference in Alabama in February, one day with the Alabama Commercial Real Estate Conference. Then the second day, we're going to go to Montgomery. We're going to walk the 96 units there, the portfolio, meet with our property management company, do some things where we're having hot seats, helping people go through and solve some of their problems, and help them refine their goals for 2025. And so that's the thing that you have to do, is like, you got to get outside your comfort zone, and you have to align yourself with the right people that are kind of moving in the same space that you are. So I'm gonna play this video real quick that talks about
the power of mastermind groups. Commit yourself to lifelong learning. The most valuable asset you'll ever have is your mind and what you put into it. Brian Tracy. A mastermind group is a gathering of individuals who come together to support and challenge each other in their pursuit of success and personal growth. It is a group of like-minded people who share their experiences and expertise, providing an environment of collaboration and problem solving. Participants in a mastermind group are encouraged to offer creative solutions and brainstorm new ideas, as well as hold each other accountable in the pursuit of their goals. The structure of the group varies, but typically involves regular meetings to discuss successes, failures, and ideas, as well as help each other overcome any obstacles or challenges they may be facing. By creating a supportive environment, a mastermind group can be an invaluable source of inspiration and assistance. Joining a mastermind group is a great way to increase your knowledge and expand your network. By engaging in conversations with other like-minded professionals, you can share ideas, advice, and resources to help each other grow and succeed. You can also gain new perspectives and insights from the group, which can help you think outside the box and find innovative solutions to challenges that you might face. Furthermore, the supportive atmosphere of a mastermind group can help motivate you to take action and make progress on your projects and goals. The history of mastermind groups. Mastermind groups have been around for centuries, but they gained popularity in the early 20th century when Napoleon Hill wrote his book, Think and Grow Rich. Hill first used the term mastermind group to refer to a group of like-minded individuals who come together to share ideas and goals and work together to help each other achieve them. This type of group has since been used to help people achieve success in various fields, from business to creative endeavors. The concept of a mastermind group has been adapted in various ways, from online groups to in-person meetings, but the basic idea remains the same: working together to achieve success. Mastermind groups have evolved over the years and have become more organized with clear goals, expectations, and outcomes. Many of the original mastermind groups were simply informal gatherings of like-minded individuals who would meet to discuss their ideas and experiences. Today, mastermind groups are more organized and structured to ensure members are held accountable and progress can be measured. They also often include elements of coaching and mentoring, with members taking turns to provide advice, guidance, and support to each other. Additionally, modern mastermind groups often focus on specific topics or goals, such as launching a business or achieving a certain level of success. Benefits of joining a mastermind group. Joining a mastermind group can have many benefits. First, you can gain access and collaborate with a network of people who may have contacts and resources that can help you achieve your goals. Additionally, you can learn from a diverse range of perspectives and experiences of others and get valuable feedback on your ideas. Mastermind groups can also help you stay motivated and accountable with your goals, as you have the support and encouragement of your peers. Ultimately, mastermind groups can be a great way to develop meaningful relationships and learn from others in a supportive environment of like-minded individuals. The power of mastermind
groups. And so they talked about Napoleon Hill. And so for those that have not read the book, Think and Grow Rich is a great book where Napoleon Hill, he went around the country and interviewed successful millionaires of his day and took the concepts that they brought to their disposal in regards to how they ended up building wealth. And so one of the things that he learned was this mastermind group. So think about a group of 10 successful people, all successful businessmen, whether it's the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilt, and all their rich friends coming together now thinking about, hey, how about we start this industry, or we start making this product, or thinking through these ways. And so now being able to bring your problems and challenges where now you have the power of not just your own brain, now you have the power of, say, 10 brains that's all focused on your challenge, that are all coming from 10 different sets of experiences, 10 sets of, avenues that they walk through life. And now you have multiple people that have more insight than just you and limited to yourself to come in and to help you tackle and provide solutions for your problems. And so the thing with it, that their success was due to their knowledge and application of the mastermind principle. And he did this research over 50 years of all these successful entrepreneurs and brought this all together in this book, Think and Grow Rich. So it's a great read, and I encourage everyone to kind of check that book out. But the primary benefit that, with mastermind groups, and that's a picture of me in Dallas with David Pere, who's the founder of the War Room, and Blake Daly, that I met there. Blake actually was a lieutenant in the Air Force at my duty station when I was at Tyndall Air Force Base there. And he was the one that introduced me. He's like, hey, have you heard of the War Room? I was like, no. He's like, it's a bunch of real estate dudes, and you get together weekly and we talk shop on Sarah. I was like, all right, cool. And so he introduced me to the War Room, and it changed the trajectory of my investing 100%. And I'll talk a little bit more about that story. But it allows you to tap into other people's education, experience, and influence to help you solve your challenges, whether it's getting new deals, getting into a new market, getting through bumps in the road with, hey, do you have an attorney that can help me put a syndication together, or help me with my operating agreement? So whether it's like, hey, how are you doing your social media? Who's helping you with your social media? Or whatever the challenge it is, that now as you expand your horizon and you got more people in your network, they can help you solve these challenges that are going to come. For the sake of time, we're not going to talk about this, but if you check out this video here, the Mastermind Principle, Napoleon Hill, he actually gives an interview and talks about it. And this is an excerpt from his book that's in video form, but we won't watch that one. But you can definitely, I'll share the link to that in the Facebook group so you all have it. The thing is, like, he wrote this book, back in the 1930s, back in this time frame when he started doing all the interviews, but it's still applicable today. That trying to go through life by yourself, and many of us can attest to it, that a lot of times that it sets you up, it sets you up for just short-term success. And the reason I say that is because it's hard to endure when it's just you alone. And the thing is, if you want to go somewhere fast, go by yourself. If you want to go further, then you want to go in a group. And the thing is that you want to have that team approach, that mindset. And the way that you go through and do it, whether it's a couple, whether it's a fraternity, a sorority, associates that you have, or someone from your church, or wherever it may be, that you find the right people to align. Or it could be someone in your mastermind, that a group that you join, that you find the partnerships. That was the thing for me. This first mastermind group that I joined with the War Room back in 2020, I ended up finding one of my partners that helped me raise money for my first multifamily deal, to put the deal together. And that individual, from there, introduced me to more people that were able to invest in my deals after that first deal. And so the thing is, like, being able to go through and understand how you can find that accountability, how you can go through and get organized and have someone, a group of people that are vested in your success and truly looking to hold you accountable so you can achieve your goals. It is a game changer at the end of the day. And the thing is, you got to figure out how you can leverage masterminds. This is a great picture here. The guy Doug there across from my wife, like, Doug was instrumental, like, in doing deals. He was the leader of, like, our goal squad within the War Room. But one of the cool things with one of my largest deal, that he brought the deal to his sister-in-law that invested well over six figures in my deal that we were doing, and I had never met her in person before. But from being in the mastermind group, and he knew someone that was looking to do, a family member looking to do a deal and invest, and he was like, "Hey, well, you got a deal, then I think y'all should talk." And and the rest is history. And so the thing is, like, you can look at mastermind alliances, finding a person in your family or someone connected, to your military service, that there's something that you can find in alignment. A lot of us, we're interested in multifamily, we're interested in real estate investing. And so now you can look at how you can leverage a mastermind group. And that was one of the things that I really wanted to bring to the table with creating REI Genius in the community that we have, with being able to directly influence the success of other people, just because I didn't have that initially. When I bought my first house in '06, then my second property in 2011, and started buying more and more investment properties. Like, I was doing it all bootstrapping by myself, figuring out the financing, going through and, trying to put everything together with the contractors, everything, from a statement of work and how to put the deal together, how to manage the contractors. And so from that side of it, I was just going through the motions and like learning as I go. And I was like, man, looking back on it, after I joined this first group, I was like, I could have joined this, paying this, $50, $60 a month, way back then. It's like, that would have been well worth, the information and knowledge, and just being able to have someone that I could talk to, when you're going through and the challenges that you're facing, where you can have someone that can relate to the challenges, that it just helps you that much more on your journey. And so the thing is, like, success has a price that must be paid, that you have to go through that whole process. And like, having that negative mental attitude leads only to failure. And so I think that's one of the big things for me in the relationship with money, and being able to figure out that one of the great concepts that I learned that changed how I look at like money and time, when we talked about already the limited amount of time, is that wealthy people gladly will trade money to buy time. And I say that in regards to buying time, in regards to, they'll buy someone else's experience so they don't have to waste the time making those mistakes, or waste the time trying to figure out what they have to do to learn that they'll just pay someone for their time to come and do it. One of the things that aspects of it is, like doing tasks where you could pay someone maybe $15 an hour, such as cleaning your house, folding your clothes, or going picking up your groceries, things like that, where it's like, okay, if you can take your time and find a deal that can bring you $40,000, $50,000 in 6 months, or find a multifamily deal that can bring you 600, 700,000 in equity in a year or two. It's like, your time is more valuable doing those things than folding clothes or washing dishes or going grocery store shopping, where you can spend, now you don't have to worry about those things, that you can focus on your business, and then you can focus the rest of your time on spending time with your family, where you don't have to focus on these tasks that you can offset and pay someone to go and do that, because your time is that much more valuable. And so that's something to kind of think about, with like how you manage your time and how you can buy your time back with everything that you do. And so that's just something that, to think about. And that was one of the things that my mom actually helped me in that area, because growing up with my dad, he had his own appliance and television repair shop. And so one of the things with me, I was really handy. And so like, everything that I was doing, like, okay, I can figure this out. I can save money. I can change out my the door handle broke on my camera. I can change, like, at the same time, you're like, the time you're wasting like doing this stuff, like, other people have to make money too, and so you don't have to do anything. And so I thought about that years later. I was like, you know what? She's like, what she was on to something. It's like, you could pay other people to do this, but like, you're wasting your time trying to be a jack of all trades, to be able to do everything. It's like the time that you're wasting trying to do this, when someone else could have done it in 2 hours and you paid them, versus you being out here 6 hours trying to change out your alternator in your car, or whatever it may be, as an example. But the thing is, like, understand and look for opportunities where you can buy back your time. And being able, at the end of the day, that the mental attitude and the relationships that you bring at the end of the day, like, it's going to take you however far you allow it to. Like, being able to get what you want out of any group that you're in, that it's gonna allow you the opportunity to do it. But you have to embrace it, and you have to take advantage of it. And it's completely up to you and within your control. Masterminds equal success. Here at 10X Vets, that's another community that I am that's veteran focused. 10X Vets, they have a funding arm that's kind of tangentially attached to their organization that I have done countless real estate deals on the single family side. They've done multifamily deals for me with their private equity fund with managing that. And this is from the I forgot what we won that award for something from the golf tournament that we won a bottle of bourbon for the event there that they had at Florida, in which now they have like quarterly in-person events. But the thing is, with that, like success is earned up front by helping others and respecting their rights. And one of the cool things with it, like when you go in these organizations, when you go in these mastermind groups, there's some for free out there. There's some to pay. I've paid upwards of $30,000 for a mastermind group for 1 year for different things. I've had marketing mastermind groups, real estate mastermind groups, some that were like entrepreneur focused with, a slant toward real estate investing. But the thing with it is always lead with value and not necessarily lead with what can you extract from the group, but what can you bring to the group? And we all have skill set. We all have talents. We all have abilities that we can bring to the table that can help someone level up. And I'm a true believer, like if you lead with value and trying to help others, then you're going to receive everything that you need from life. And that's one of the things that has paid an infinite return, is just being able to be in a position to help others achieve their goals. And that's why we're here today. And, that's why we have REI Genius. That's why we have the 8-week wealth series that I'm focused on really helping people, giving people the tools to be successful at the end of the day. Get the information, take action, and keep showing up every day. And so success means knowing how to get what you want while lifting others up along the way. Because guess what? If you got both of your hands closed, you can't receive anything. But guess what? Once you start giving, now your hands are open to receive. And so that's how I live my life. And that's how, the concept works, that your life reflects the expectations of your peer group. You are a sum of your average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. And so now if you start looking at that, it's like some of us, we need to upgrade our circle. We need to upgrade who we're hanging out with, spending the most time with. Because guess what? If you want to be a millionaire, you need to start hanging with more millionaires. And, it's not a knock on like you forgetting where you come from, because I felt that one and struggle with that some. But at the end of the day, it's like if you have aspirational goals for where you want to go in life, you have to align with the same people. Like you gotta be able to reach out. And if you're having $1 million problem, you gotta have somebody in your Rolodex that you can call that solved $1 million problems before. Because if you're not, then guess what? You're gonna get crushed by it. And so if you want to go to that next level, that you're gonna have to have a network around you at that next level if you want to stay. And so that's one of the things that you have to look at with expanding your peer group and continue to grow. And so at the end of the day, it's all about surrounding yourself with those who've achieved success and those striving for it. Because guess what? Life is too short for us not to. Yep. So I talked about my first mastermind group with the War Room. It was great. Just from it changed my mindset. And I talked about how with Roy, my first partner in my first multifamily deal, we came in. He ended up raising. He put in $40K, raised another $35,000, put the rest of the money in, and had a college buddy put $20K in, and we got that deal done. It was in the COVID had just kicked off that spring. And, I was super grateful for that multifamily to be able to go in and get my first multifamily deal by being in that War Room group, because, I had done single family, had, a few private investors, family members and friends that had invested in deals. But, going into that deal, that was like the first $multi level deal that I had ever done. In the picture to the right, some of the, people from another group with Bill Allen there in the middle in the flight suit that runs 7-figure flipping. That was a great opportunity, great time, joining that mastermind group with them and aligning and everything that came with it. And so that's the picture of my 18 unit, the first multifamily deal that I done there with that. And then 7-figure flipping, we had like the annual trip to Cancun for a week, take the family. Ron Angel there. Ron and I met in person. Ron invested like $70,000 in one of my single family deals before we even met. that we were in the war room together, and he had some money in his IRA, and somebody was telling like, yeah, Johnny's doing deals, man, down in Panama City. He's like, cool. He's like, hey, we got on the phone call, and he's like, hey, I got some money I need to put to work, and and he invested in one of our deals, and so that's the thing. Like, you got to get around like-minded people. There are groups out here, organizations out here that are focused on whatever it is, whether it's meetup.com. You can go as an avenue to find local meetups, real estate investor groups, mastermind groups, where you can meet online, and then also have in-person component to it as well too. But it's all about finding the commonality and being able to align your mission and values with other similar people, and then just get out here and start crushing your goals and crushing life. And the thing is that it's who, not how. Don't ask how to do it, ask who can help you do it. And so that's one of the things that we're doing. Right now, like, we're raising $750,000 for our multifamily portfolio in Montgomery. Guess what? I put it out there to a couple of my guys in my mastermind group that have like, hey, I'm about to raise some capital for this deal. Hey, if you guys want to invest, cool, let me know. Someone that wants to invest, let me know. Hey, if you want to jump in and be part of the partnership and raise some of the money from your circle, then let's go. Let's have a conversation. But the thing is, it's not always have to be on you. That being able to bring in opportunities to bring other people in, and just continue to grow your influence at the end of the day. But the thing is, you got to find your circle. So network and mastermind groups, they reduce the risk and they boost the success. And the thing is, they take it to the next level where you can accelerate it and get there a heck of a lot faster than if you were trying to do it all by yourself. If you were trying to save all the money up for yourself, if you were trying to find all the networking where you can find all the investors that you need by yourself, or you can go out here and try to find the perfect contractor, the perfect property manager by yourself and manage it all, then it gets to be tough. And I've been there, done that with being the self-management. And, one of the things my wife, she started helping. She's like, I can't believe that you were still managing to do all this stuff by yourself while you were working full time. And I was like, yeah, and it was a lot of stress and doing it, but it was worthwhile. I was crystal clear on my focus and the grind, and it was worth the sacrifice. But at the same time, you don't want to get to a position where you get burned out. And so that's what being able to align with the right people, and then just having someone that has the insight on the same problems that you have, where you can just have the same conversation. Because being an entrepreneur, being an investor, can sometimes get lonely because it's not common. Everyone's not doing the same thing. A lot of people, they're not thinking about investment. They're not thinking about retirement. They're not thinking about flipping a house. They're not thinking about buying apartment complexes. And so now you're kind of the black sheep, if you will. You're just out there by yourself and just kind of figuring it out. And so it can get super stressful and super lonely. But that's one of the great things that I love, being able to check in with my brothers and sisters in some of these groups and get realigned. And even within REI Genius, with our accountability groups, that it energizes me to see the deal flow, what everyone is doing, to kind of see where, to give them mentorship on, hey, when I was in that position, or this is what I would do, or let me reach out to my network to help you get this, and helping them solve problems. That is truly beautiful. And then accountability drives success. Like, surround yourself with like-minded investors. That's one of the things that I love when working with veterans and military. It's like accountability, it comes almost standard. It's almost issued to us. And so, like, if we say we're going to do something and this is the mission, like, we're going to accomplish it. Come hell or high water, we're going to get it done. And so that's one of the things that a lot of veterans take for granted, that they have this skill set, this superpower of accountability and drive and determination to get things done. And so that's one of the things that I love to bring to REI Genius and to my inner circle, with helping people be successful and holding them accountable, giving them that tough love, and helping them achieve their goals long term, what it's all about. And so the mentoring, to kind of break that down, because there's a mentor aspect and then there's a mentee aspect of it, and there's accountability on both sides, and a recognition of what each one has to provide or what they should provide. And so mentoring is just simply a guided development of the skills, behaviors, and knowledge base the mentee can use to further their success and productivity. And so it's really, it doesn't have to be something like super formal, but you can have a mentor in anything in life. The thing is, like, whatever you're trying to do, you should find a mentor. Like, I've seen it with, like, my dad as a pastor, that, you have the young pastors, and then you have the older pastors that are more seasoned, that are helping the young guys and kind of showing them the ropes, helping them kind of get through challenges and things like that. But at the same time, in the military, you have the senior leaders, the colonels, that's educating the lieutenants and captains and majors and helping them build up the skill set to get to the next rank and the next level. And so the same thing in the corporate world, if you're trying to get to be a VP or a president, that you need to have a mentor that's already there or been there. That's a CEO, that's a VP that you can go and talk to, and they can help you get to that next level. And so much of this is who you know when you get out here. And like, people love to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And so the more people that know you, then the better off that you're going to be. And so the same thing with mentoring. I encourage anyone in whatever you want to do in life and be successful to find you a mentor that's going to help you, on the development side. It's going to support your personal and professional development. And then it provides mentees freedom to think for themselves. And the mentee becomes more efficient and more effective. So as a mentee, for those that are looking for a mentor, this is what you need to understand. That one, the mentee has to take the initiative. Usually you're going to be you need to set your own goals. You don't want the mentor to set the goals for you. But you want to be forthcoming in communicating the problems and solutions that you have in order to get their feedback, asking for that feedback in order to help guide you along your path. One, you want to listen to the mentor's ideas, but at the same time, you still want to have at the end of the day, it's your decision to make. And be honest. A lot of times, early on, you may not have the relationship where you feel comfortable up front, but you want to be honest and build that trust and build that rapport with them over time. And be respectful for the mentor's time. If you're setting a meeting, then you want to make sure that you uphold the meeting, that you're there on time, that you're not late. But then also be open to learning. And on the mentor side, if you're a mentor for someone, that one, you want to make yourself available, have that time that you can meet with them. You want to listen to your mentees' ideas. You want to help provide growth experiences where you want to give them the opportunity and put them in the right environments that's going to be conducive to their growth. But you want to give honest feedback, that you want to let them know where they are. You don't want to set them up for failure, but you want to give them honest feedback on where they are and how they can position themselves to continue to grow and be successful. Give advice. That's what you're there for, is to give them advice, to lean on your wisdom, lean on your experience to help them chart their path. Share knowledge and insights. We talked about that one. And encouragement, because a lot of times it can be lonely. You're starting off. You don't know which direction to go. You're maybe being pulled in multiple directions, and you have to make decisions. So really being able to give them that encouragement and remembering when you were in their footsteps or when you were in their shoes at the end of the day. But, a couple things that finding your circle, you want to look and align across like knowledge or expertise, career guidance. You're going to get that feedback that you need to go and take yourself to the next level. But then also you're going to gain that broader understanding of industry standards. You're going to understand what's going on. You're going to get a senior leader's perspective on why the rules are changing, or the last market crash or the last market cycle. What does this mean? They can give you that interpretation by leaning on their experience. And then you're going to get that confidence boost at the end of the day, where now you can go out and make those decisions. And ultimately, you're going to earn more. You're going to have better investments. You're going to better execution. And it's going to just continue to increase that bottom line. And the thing is, like, when you start talking about performance coaching, like even world champions have coaches, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, you got Nick Saban there, you got Tiger Woods, even the individual guys, Manny Pacquiao, Mike Tyson, all these guys, Floyd Mayweather. When you start looking at individual sports or coaching with team sports, like, these guys have so many different individual coaches that help them perfect their greatness to get the most out of what they're looking to do, whatever their skill set is. And it's no different. Like, even with you look at the guys, they have a strength and conditioning coach, they have a nutritionist, they have a skill coach. You have in the off season, you see like running backs and wide receivers, they got speed and agility coaches. Like, they have so many people with expertise that help you bring out your greatness in whatever it is that you're doing. But outside of the coaching aspect, when you start looking at masterminds, they're right in front of you. When you look at the biggest companies out there, even nonprofits, like when you start looking at the board members that sit on these boards of these these huge companies, these Fortune 500 companies, like all the board of advisors is a mastermind group. You have different individuals with different skill sets that all come together for the success of the company, the mission of the company, we're executing the mission of the company. So you have someone that's the CFO who's over the finance department. You have the COO that's over operations. You got the CEO that's looking at the overall strategy. But then you may have someone, you have the marketing director that's over the marketing budget. And so now you may have someone, you see a lot of general officers that retire on board of advisors just because they have a different experience and skill set that they can bring to corporate America because they look at problems differently than maybe other people with different experiences. And so just having that diversity of thought and being able to have different minds come together to solve the company solution all leads to the bottom line and for more success and for more benefit to the shareholders and investors in these companies at the end of the day. So who, not how, as we wrap up, success often lies not in doing everything alone, but in identifying the right collaborators who to amplify your efforts and achieve the collective goals. So as we wrap up week 5, the action steps: 1, make a list of 5 people you already know who can support your real estate journey. So you think about, finding if you need an agent on your team, a contractor, you're looking to do a project, or if you're looking for lenders, find 5 people that you need to align with in order for you to be successful going into your next venture, into your next deal. I encourage you guys to join an online or local real estate group. Meetup.com is a great one to look at. Bigger Pockets has some different groups out there too that you can find. But even if you just type in your city and put Real Estate Investor Group or put in REI, so Real Estate Investor Association, so you can find your local meetup where you can get connected with people in person. And then if you're looking, for a group online, and I would love to have you guys, if you're interested in joining my inner circle, and you're serious about doing your next deal in the next 6 months, we would love to have a conversation with you about joining the REI Genius community and family in my inner circle. And then at the same time, going into number 3, draft a short intro email message to reach out to potential connections that's in your market or maybe in a group that you're interested in joining, where now you all can get on the same page. And so with that kind of week 5, you kind of see the points laid out there with being able to, 1, sharing your networking list and reach out to at least one person over the next week. And then also share your networking strategy in the group. And because I think that's really big. Just within what we have in the Facebook group itself is a mastermind within itself. But if you're not sharing, if you're not giving support to one another, if you're not asking questions, if you need information, then you're not going to get what you can get out of it. And so that's what I encourage you to leverage the Facebook community, because it's a mastermind within itself. I think we have almost 200 people in there, where if you ask the right questions, you can get insight that you need that can take you to the next level or whatever it is that you're doing. So I just encourage that across the board. And so make sure everyone, for those that may just tap in, make sure you download your Millionaire Wealth Blueprint. We got the private Facebook group there. You can download the resource in there as well too. And our live session. So next week, we'll be coming back on Tuesday, 7 p.m. as we go into week 6, as we continue to march through. And with that, I will wrap up. And I think we got a few minutes for some questions. If anyone have any questions tonight? Any questions at all about what we covered tonight, or maybe previous weeks? Okay. If not, you guys know where to find me, and we will see you next week. You guys be blessed.
All right. See you guys on Tuesday. Happy New Year, everyone.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Take care.
Yep. Happy New Year, everyone.